say
Top Billin.
Yo, Top Billin to ya. Your boy is back, baby. Talking more and more about, draft season, right? So think about that, man. We're always talking about draft season even before free agency starts. Fans love it, so you got to definitely appease the fans because you guys love it, then, hey, what's up, man? I like it. It's all good. So, but keeping in context with my New York Jets, the Gotham Green Gangsters, them boys done went out and hired Coach Robert Saleh from the 49ers. So I know about his scheme covering the Seattle Seahawks, right, like I've done on the channel here for the past season there. So bringing that scheme there, right, 49ers run a little bit different variation of it. They'll run the single high post safety type stuff, but they'll run some too high stuff, man. You can see them in quarters coverage. They're very multiplistic. So coming out of that Greg Williams defense, the Greg Williams error, the Greg Williams error, into the Robert Saleh era, man. It's about to be hard. I cannot absolutely wait to see what they do and implement stuff on that defensive side of the ball. More even fronts there. So what does that do for somebody like Quinnen Williams? Is there impact players on each level of the defense, right? But we'll get to that at another time. I know you guys want to talk about quarterbacks, so I'm going to appease the fans. We're going to talk about what the New York Jets should do at the quarterback position, and I'm going to give you various scenarios and give my opinion on it, but I want you to think like a GM. Don't think like a fan. Well, what am I saying? You people are going to come in here thinking like fans. Some of you who are capable of not thinking like a fan and can go outside yourself and think like a GM, make sure you holler at your boy in the comment section. I want to know what you guys would do, right? It's always fun to do these type of exercises. I like doing them with some of my coaching buddies. We kind of test each other on that type of stuff. That's the shit that I live for. That's the shit that I think is fun, right? So, all right, so just taking an overview of the offense. If you had to rate the offense by personnel talent, I would give the Jets probably about a 4, straight up. So if you're saying that, you're giving them about a 4, you need to get more and more talent on the offensive side of the ball. So that being said, Denzel Mims, I think he's going to be a star. He was the shit at Baylor, right? We saw that in that bowl game against Georgia. He was lighting up dudes. I know this should be future first-round draft picks like a Eric Stokes. And Eric Stokes that the New York Jets should definitely be looking at in the draft as well. But him being able to do what he does at 6'2", 6'3", or whatever like that, to me, he's like a high-level number 2 receiver that can possibly be a number 1 receiver. Do you go out and get a number 1 receiver to pair with him, right? Jamison Crowder, I think pretty good number 3 type receiver. I don't know his contract status or whatever like that, but having a tried and true number 1 there, to me, that makes all the difference if you're talking about bringing in a quarterback. So if we start at the top, I know Deshaun Watson, that shit would be bananas. Having Deshaun Watson as a New York Jets, one of the top 5 to 7 best quarterbacks in the NFL. You can make an argument for top 5. He had an incredible year. Everybody was talking that cash money shit when they went out and let DeAndre Hopkins go for virtually nothing, right? It must have just been a culture thing. It didn't matter, right? When Deshaun Watson finally got over it, all he did was go out and have his best season to me by far. And that was on a losing team that's going to be picking, 3rd, 4th in the draft or whatever the Houston Texans were picking before they had to give that to the Miami Dolphins. So imagine that. This guy is incredible. He would do wonderful things for the New York Jets, especially in a Mike LaFleur offense, if they are going to be similar to what Kyle Shanahan runs with the 49ers. So we have to see about that. Remember, he was the passing game coordinator. Not the greatest aspect of that particular team. That particular team is based on the run, based on the offensive line, which is another thing, right? A guy like Mekhi Becton I love. But the rest of the guys, right, is it good enough for the Pat Elflein or a Connor McGovern, right? It's like 12 Connor McGoverns in the damn NFL. How many of them do? It's like 15 of them, bro. Like, and they all play. That shit is crazy. Somebody have to let me know. Is that the same Connor McGovern? Does he play for every team out there? You know what I mean? A guy like George Fent. So if we're talking about a guy like Deshaun Watson, you would have to give up that number 2 pick, I believe. Could you get away with the second pick that's in the 20s? I don't think so. I think if you win that guy up, you're going to have to give up that pick. So that's the first thing, and think like a GM. How are you going to replenish your talent pool or add to your talent pool, but you would give up a high-level draft pick? Now, you probably would draft a quarterback there. You could probably draft a guy like Penei Sewell. So remember, I'm just talking this. I'll come back with film studies on these guys. I know you guys, you know what I'm saying, come here for the film studies. But you got to allow me to talk sometimes, right? A guy like Penei Sewell would be in play for me, right? Penei Sewell on one end, Mekhi Becton on the other. Hard. That's what you bring a quarterback into. That's the makings of a good football team to me. That's something that the San Francisco 49ers did. Build up around and then go get the quarterback like they went and got Jimmy G, right? Maybe Jimmy G is not enough, but they were winning in the Super Bowl with Jimmy G. So Deshaun Watson, we know what he can do. He's virtually flawless in my opinion. Go through his progressions with the best of them. Strong-ass plus arm, extremely accurate, can improvise, tough as nails. He can see it, right? The ability to steer, that's what I always say. If you can see it, can you throw it? That's the ability to steer to me. He can feather the clutch, not throwing everything hot, but he does have a plus arm, very mobile. What's not to like about this guy? You can make an argument that he's one of the most talented players in the NFL, probably right up there with Josh Allen, who I think is the most talented, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, all of them dudes right there. So that would be ain't much you can say about that. If they were going to do that, I could really see some success having there just with him, but you still have to surround him with some talent. So that would definitely take away from the ability to add talent to him. Is that something that you would do as a GM, right? Moving on past him, Justin Fields. So if we're talking about the draft stuff, I'm just going to talk about Justin Fields now. I know you guys want me to do stuff on Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and everything like that. My pick would be Justin Fields just for the simple fact I've seen him in big-level moments or big-time moments against crazy competition, crazy talented teams of guys that I'll see in the NFL. That doesn't mean he's better than Zach Wilson. That doesn't mean he's better than Trey Lance, but at least I know he checks those boxes. And his ceiling is pretty much like a Deshaun Watson. I compare him to Russell Wilson. They play just alike. So there's things in Russell's game to this day that he needs to clean up, right? I don't think Russell is like that guy. I think he can be that guy, but to me, he's more of a man. He's one of these guys where, like, if the run game's going good and all this and that, he's phenomenal. If you have to just put it on him consistently, I don't know. And that's how I feel about Justin Fields right now. But that's him right now as a 21-year-old. He could possibly be Deshaun Watson himself or whatever we think Russell Wilson is, right? Russell Wilson's definitely MVP level. He's got that type of talent. He's super accurate. He has a super strong arm. Very mobile, pretty tough. You can see he stays nicked up, though. I don't like that. He's nicked up a lot, so you got to watch for that when he gets to the NFL. But, hey, that's probably the luck of the draw right there. Maybe learn how to slide a little bit better or something like that. But he's tough as nails, and he can see it. He does have some stuff to clean up. He passed the ball, right? He holds on to the ball a lot. He throws extremely hot. His offense, he's playing in college, I think, is kind of rudimentary. A lot of stuff outside the numbers, right? They'll work with the plus stuff outside the numbers. Not really attacking the middle of the field that much, which you're going to have to do in the NFL because they can take away that outside stuff with scheme and with personnel. It's just a different animal there. But I think he can do it. I really do think he could do it. But ain't nothing to it but to do it. He can't be Deshaun Watson, but Deshaun Watson is already Deshaun Watson. You don't have to worry. Maybe Justin Fields is not that good when he gets to the NFL. You know Deshaun Watson is good. So that's the good right there versus the bad, the pros and cons. Justin Fields also would allow you to still have that second pick. Maybe you did keep the second pick if you got Deshaun Watson, but you would have both of those picks. So maybe you can turn around, grab one of these high-level receivers in the draft, pair him up with a Denzel Mims, pair them up, who would be, somebody like Rashad Bateman or something like that. That would be hard, right? Maybe grab another tight end if you don't feel that good about Chris Herndon. I'm not that big a Chris Herndon guy. I covered him at Rivals when I worked for that Miami site. I thought he was pretty good, but I thought he was second level to David Njoku, and I didn't think David Njoku was all that good either, just a really good athlete. So a top-level tight end. I'm not sure if Pat Freiermuth, if he's from Penn State, if he's in the draft or not. That will be hard. Just guys like that for him to throw to. But we can get into that another day. Also, another running back. Maybe that's the spot where a Najee Harris could be had. That would be something to give a guy like Justin Fields. I think he needs a run game. He's going to need some really good play action to work with. Suppose you came out of the draft with Justin Fields and Najee Harris in the first round. Now you're cooking with gas, for real. So that would be dope. I would like that. Sam Darnold. I know everybody's right now, they're like shutting the thing off. Don't turn it off, right? Don't turn it off. Sam Darnold. Just logically speaking, an old head told me back in the day, he's like, it's cheaper to keep her. I never knew what he was talking about. He's like, it's cheaper to keep her. Now I can see, right? It's really cheaper to keep her if you're talking about with Sam Darnold. You get to really hone in on building around him. And let's be real here. If you're being neutral about this, coming out of college, Sam Darnold was as talented as anyone. I cover him at Rivals for the Southern California site, Trojansports.com. I'll put that up in here. I have various film studies on Sam Darnold, obviously because I do film work, so covering him every week. There was stuff in his game that I said when he was a freshman, a redshirt freshman, that I thought he needed to clean up, but he was just so damn dynamic. There was nothing that he couldn't do. I'm talking about a great improviser, plus arm strength, very, very mobile, very tough. He was cerebral, but he would always make bonehead mistakes and throw some weird interceptions. He would do that. And then his second year, he did a lot of that, but some stuff had changed. Juju Smith-Schuster had left. Darius Rogers, his top receivers had left. He was implementing in a bunch of young guys and stuff like that. So you could kind of give him a pass with that. But his second year looked more like what he looks now. But right now, to me, he doesn't have the weapons around him. Suppose you go out and get him some weapons. Is he salvageable? If he's salvageable, to me, that works out better than Deshaun Watson and Justin Fields because you just need more pieces. Need more pieces. Need them on defense. Giving up draft capital like that for a team like the New York Jets, to me, I think is very risky because while it does have some pieces, right, you'll be possibly lose a Marcus May. I hope they don't lose Marcus May. Please re-sign Marcus May. That's my dog right there. That dude is phenomenal. Quinnen Williams, C.J. Mosley, right? What's going to happen with C.J. Mosley? Come back from COVID next year. Denzel Mims, Mekhi Becton. You need more high premium guys like that. Bryce Hall as a cornerback position. Suppose you're able to get Patrick Surtain in the draft or Caleb Farley or some of these guys that I was talking about. Maybe one of the kids from Georgia. There's three of them, right? One of the three kids from Georgia you could get. There's some high-level guys in there that play some big-time football. But the more draft capital you have, the better off you can be. But there's no substitute for having a franchise-level quarterback, especially an MVP-level quarterback like Deshaun Watson. And there's no substitute for having a young guy that could beat Deshaun Watson or whomever on a rookie contract, and then you can really build around him because then you can go out and pay some high-premium free agents. Jets got a lot of draft cap room. Joe Douglas doing his thing. I bet one of you dudes run up on Big Joe Douglas, man. Some of you cats be out there talking and shit like that. Run up on Big Joe Douglas. Run up on Joe Douglas. I bet you won't. That's a big dude. And then Sam Darnold, of course, sky will be the limit if you can salvage that guy. Maybe they feel like they can salvage him. Maybe Mike LaFleur sees something in him where they was like, man, this guy is super young still. What is he, 24 or something like that? He's still super young. He does have plus arm talent. He can be accurate at times. He makes some long-ass runs. I like the bare bones of Sam Darnold. Remember, when Sam Darnold came out, there were a lot of draft analysts that said that he was the most talented quarterback since Andrew Luck. I wasn't one of them, right? I said he had some flaws in his game. Perhaps, you know what I mean, he may need to come along a little slower. He was super young at USC, and he redshirted, and Cody Kessler was there as a senior, I believe, but you could tell that maybe was some maturing to do there, and I still think that in the league here. So maybe he turns it around. Josh Allen turned it around. Josh Allen looked a little better than Sam Darnold looks now, but you just never know. Giving up on people too easy. That's what a lot of people do in life, period. But sometimes, man, it may be cheaper to keep her. So that would be your best, to me, your best case scenario if he's salvageable. And if he's not next year and you're still bad, there's some dope-ass dudes coming in the draft next year. Pay attention to my boy from North Carolina named Sam Howell. He should be the number 1 pick. If you like Baker Mayfield, you should love Sam Howell. They are clones of each other. I mean, he looks just like Baker Mayfield, literally. So, and then some other guys there as well. But if the Jacksonville Jaguars, if they were to select Justin Fields, to me, everything goes out the window. You do not pass on Trevor Lawrence. That is my dude right there. That's the guy I think is the best. I would take him even over getting Deshaun Watson. And I would definitely tell Sam Darnold I would have to package him up and go. If they did take, I feel a little bit more comfortable with Trevor Lawrence because I don't think he has too much of anything to clean up. The stuff that he does have to clean up, he actually puts on tape, though. Maybe he doesn't do it consistently, but he's put it on tape enough to where you know he can do it, and he's just starting at a high level. To me, like his floor is like a Pro Bowl level. His ceiling, to me, up there, man. Perennial All-Pro. So that would be me right there. We'll look at these other guys, Zach Wilson and Trey Lance. You guys let me know what you would do right there in the comment section. It's definitely a fun topic to talk about. But let's get the dialogue started. And I'll have tons more on the New York Jets. All right, we're just getting started, baby. Make sure you like and subscribe. Tell a New York Jets fan that this is where it's going to be. I'm going to kill it like I always do, but especially with this team here, all right? It's your boy Murph, the Underground King. Thanks for watching. Tell me about it in the comment section. Let's get at it, all right? Peace.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.